Hi, my name is Amy Wynn. I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne, and I wanted to talk a minute today about one of the biggest objections that people often have when it comes to starting their own business with Arbonne, and that is that, well, I just don't have time. I'm too busy. I don't have time for one more thing in my day. And the fact is, nobody has time. That is the world we live in today. We are completely overloaded. All of us, no matter what our job, what our status, where we live, how old we are all too busy. Nobody has enough time. And the the thing is, we have kind of been brought up to believe that time equals money. We are brought up believing that when we get a job, time equals money. So the time that we put into the job is the money that we get out of the job. If you think about the corporate world, or it wouldn't even need to be corporate, just any business, oftentimes when you go into the workforce, you have an entry level job. You may be working your typical 40-hour week. The entry level position may not be that difficult, may not be that stressful. You're not taking work home. You're really just kind of clocking in and out, doing your thing, and you're getting a steady paycheck. But you know that as you climb the ladder, as you move up in whatever company it is, not only is your paycheck going to go up, but so is the workload. You have to put in more hours. You have to put in more time. The job becomes more stressful as your check becomes bigger and bigger. The demands become bigger and bigger on you as you grow in your job. With a company like Arbonne, you kind of have to shift your mindset, because Arbonne really doesn't work like that. A company like Arbonne, it gives you the opportunity to leverage your time. And what I mean by that is, when you join Arbonne, we ask that you work about 10 to 15 hours a week. If you work about 10 to 15 hours a week consistently, you will see growth in your business. And what happens, what I mean by leveraging your time, is if you are working 10 hours a week and you get 4 people to join you, just 4, that's it. You get 4 people to join you, and you teach each of those 4 people how to work 10 hours a week as well. Suddenly, you've got 10, 20, 30, 40, plus the 10 that you're working yourself. You have 50 hours of work that's being done in a week, and you're benefiting from all 50 of those hours, and yet you yourself are only working 10. That's what I mean by leveraging your time. And then what you do is you teach those 4 people to each go out and find their own 4 people. And they teach those 4 people to work 10 hours. So then each of these 4 people now has 50 hours in their work week, and you have exponentially as many hours. I haven't done the math, so I don't know how many hours that would be if each of these 4 people added their own 4. But you get what I mean. It's exponential growth. You are leveraging your time. You are working the same amount of time. You're teaching someone else how to do that, and then you're benefiting from the hours that other people are working as well. And it's really different from the way we were brought up. It's often a pretty big mind shift, for people to make, but that's what we do here in Arbonne. And so for the moment, you may think, I don't really have time, I'm too busy, I can't even imagine adding one more thing to my plate. But is it worth it to you to add 10 hours to your work week if in 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road, you can say, my business has grown to the point that I literally have hundreds of hours of work going into my business per week, and I'm still only working 10 hours a week. Imagine what that could do for you. Imagine what that could do for you financially, and imagine what it could do for you time-wise. You may be giving up some time initially. On the front end, you may be giving up some of your free time. You may have to sacrifice that, the Thursday night shows that you love, or the sitcoms that you like to DVR. You may have to sacrifice some of your reading time at night. You may have small sacrifices in the beginning, but if you can look into the future and see that time coming back to you, see yourself leveraging your time, see the business working for you, I think you will realize that it's really, really worth it to make a very temporary sacrifice of time in the beginning to just put in 10 hours a week.